Hello, and welcome back. As you can see, this is a little build video, and I'm just doing a little cheeky voiceover. So the house that I'm building here is the house for, um, oh, why has her name gone out of my head? I want to say Iris, but that's probably wrong. My sim that literally just got married, and I can't think of her name at all. But for her and her husband, we're done with them. They did base game. We're chilling now. We're gonna go on to get to work, and hopefully get to work will be starting in the next video. But this is just a little house. I'm building it in Newcrest because I kind of had the idea. I don't know if I'd actually mentioned it before or not. That Newcrest is an empty neighborhood, so I'm going to move each of each of the people when I'm done with them, into a house in Newcrest, and I'll build it with their pack. So obviously this one is just base game. I also do want to preface, I am not a builder. I think the house is fine. It's nothing crazy. I forget how actually almost little there is in base game, like decoration wise, but I feel like I did okay. It's a functional building, and they'll live their happy days there together. So this is just me, I'm placing down a bed because always find it hard to visualize the size I need for bedrooms. And they always end up with just like a one block outline around the bed, which is not what I wanted. So I just always place down a placeholder bed just to get it through. So here we are going through trying to get some tiles for the outside. I don't live in a country that has a lot of this kind of house. This is a very sort of like American vibes, I feel. With like the porch and that sort of stuff. And I don't live in a house that has a lot of that. The only time I really see houses with like porches like this, it's like a static caravan. So I don't know if they tend to be stone. I went with wood because I haven't even picked wood yet, but spoiler, I end up going with wood because I don't know. Do they tend to be stone? I'm assuming if they are stone, it's faux stone. But does faux work in that scenario, or is it fake? Whatever. You know what I mean. I also hate roofing. Sims 4 has the best roofing. I find it's the easiest thing to roof in The Sims 4, but I hate it. Not a fan. So a simple roof. That's all we're doing. So I'm back to trying to pick my colors. I should have actually went through and double checked what my sim likes and dislikes. I remember they don't like green. And as far as I know, I don't put green in this house. I sort of go with a blue theme. But I'm pretty sure that she likes like pink and purple. So I should have went with that. But here we are. We're all good. So we're just gonna do the outside. I've got a door in. I'm gonna put the windows. It's hard to find windows that sort of go with this shape. I could have maybe put the walls up one more, but I always build with the short wall height. Very rarely will I build with the medium wall height, and then I will never build with the tall wall height, which could be a fun little experiment to just see what way it goes. And just sticking in a wee thing. I'm pretty like, is there a ground tile either from that paint door thingy that matches the walkway ground tile? Because I probably should have used that, but I might do in base game, but I know not all of the worlds have that, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is me choosing wood. Again, I'm not much of a builder. Or interior designer, so things probably could look better. I maybe don't use necessarily the best colorings and that sort of stuff, but I tried, and that, honestly, that's the important part. So here we have, that's the bedroom, the bathroom, and then a little office space. Obviously my sim herself, she plays the guitar. I lean more with the guitar because she never, I was only doing piano because I needed to for the job. And then her partner His life wish is to be a author, but he also actually is a freelance programmer. So I needed to make sure that I had a little office space for him to continue his work, and a space for her. If I'd done the house bigger, I would have maybe given a whole music room, but I wasn't vibing with doing a big house. I thought, you know what, like they've already lived in I think it's called a shotgun house, so I don't want to go much bigger, you know? We're doing the bathroom here, and I don't know. The showers annoy me, because they've got the three sides of glass, and that annoys me because those kind of showers, surely they go like in a corner, and then you would have a wall. So like, why is it glass? And all of them annoy me that they do it. So I'll be annoyed about it for every time I have to place one of those showers, but it is what it is. I was thinking maybe a shower bath combo, but in this scenario, their children are already grown up. I mean, they never really got to experience them as children, but their kids have grown up, so I didn't think they didn't need a bath, and that would have, the only wall that would have went across is that back one, and then I wouldn't have had the windows. So here I'm trying to pick a mirror that fits underneath the window. That one is pretty well. That's where I decided, I was like, oh, you know what, we're gonna bring a bit of color into this bathroom. The shower itself is blue, but then everything else is yellow. That's like a little rug, I guess. I don't even think that's big enough for their feet, but it's fine. I always stick in those flat lights you can see in the other rooms there to light it up, but then I always try to make sure to actually never use that light itself to light up the room. I'm going on to the bedroom here. Annoyingly, the recording of this seems to have messed up, so I think we actually lose a lot of me doing the bedroom, because the recording just cut out and I didn't notice immediately. But we're doing the bedroom here. I'm trying to pick out some colors. This is where I was trying to think of doing the purple or the pinks and that sort of stuff. I end up not sticking with the purple because you might not see it. The cut's coming up here. The purple just didn't look great. You can sort of see the bedroom finished in there. I ended up going with like a white blue wallpaper, and I think I changed up the bed as well because the purple was just too, I don't know, bright. I don't know how to explain it. The purple just was not working with me, so we ended up going with a different color for that. And then I always have my bedroom's mood lighting. I myself, personally, I'm a big light person. Get me a big light any time of the day. If we're just sitting having a chat, I can be in mood lighting. That's fine. But I like to be able to see. So like, I am not the type to like be in pitch black with like the TV on or anything, or even playing games. Like, I need lights on, preferably the big light on. I just don't like, mood lighting I can understand. Again, if you're just talking, if you're not needing to do anything in that space, I get it. And I fully understand big lights being harsh on the eyes. And if that's the case, then that's completely valid. But get a different bulb. You don't need the like fluorescent harsh bulbs, like the really white lights. You can get warm light bulbs. The compromise I will have to take in my future, if I end up dating someone who is not a big light person, if I end up moving in, living with, blah blah blah. Well, I say that my literal partner that I do have is much more of a big light hater. But they will watch stuff in the dark, and I don't like that. The compromise I would give is we can have a big light but a dimmer. It reminds me of like my grandparents' house, but I will take a big light with a dimmer, and that is it. That is the only way. I need the big light. I need to be able to see. So we can dim it, that's fine, but I'm not having, why would I don't want 17 lights. I've gone on a long rant. I finished the kitchen here. I am using move objects, that's how I move those counters into place, because I don't like how far out and stuff they sit against the other counters. There is a fire alarm in behind one of the cupboards there. If I stick the only in Sims 4 did I ever really put cupboards up. I'm trying to find something here to fill this space. I was thinking of a plant, but it's quite a narrow walkway, so I end up going not with a plant, and I believe I do end up picking a table, which works. I'm just trying to fill the space and just make it look less like a show home and maybe look like people actually do live in this building. But here, yeah, this is me picking up a table that matches that counter set. I think, to be honest, my issue, I don't mind this house. I'm not against it. But I do feel this house very much gives, I decorated each area to suit itself and not like a cohesive house. But I think that's also just like that's how I feel I personally would maybe decorate. This is why I was trying to figure out where to put the TV, and I was thinking of maybe putting it in front of the window, but then I was like, no, might as well do it the side window, because if I do it in front of the window, it very much separates that whole space, where this sort of separates a little hallway, which I think in feng shui isn't great, having this like hallway through the house, but it's a direct line, so I don't know, I thought it was okay, but who knows. I'm not used to open plan living either. Everything is in its own room. I have actual hallways where if you have open plan living, everything's a hallway. I put down the new TV that came in, one of the, what are they called? The event things. I believe it was a Christmas event we got that TV. I'm just trying to pick a rug. Again, I probably could have done with another one, like as a runner, but it is what it is. I give them a little GameCube. I don't know if they even had... Did they even have a TV in the last house? Oh, they did, but I don't think she ever sat down at it. But yeah, they got a little GameCube, giving them a little fish bowl. They, obviously in their last place they were right beside where you could fish. I don't know if they are as much now. Just trying to fill some art into this household. Again, trying to stick with the same frame colourings, but I don't think I fully do. You can see there I have a burglar alarm up on the wall there, so that's always good. Here's me trying to figure out how to do the lighting in here, and you will see I go with a big light. It's just how it is. Like, they have lamps. Lamps exists. I do mood lighting in the bedrooms, but that's just because I kind of wanted to put these in somewhere, but they just didn't work. Mood lighting kind of works sometimes, but not always. But yeah, so I think the house is fine. I think it's livable. I think it's okay. I think it very much highlights how much of not a house builder I am. I am very much more pick from the gallery and place it. But I do remember to put a mailbox and a bin in this house. I don't always, and then you just get the mailbox like off in a random corner when you go into live mode. But I was doing this on a budget also. I was doing it on the amount of money that they moved in with. And they moved in with, I think it was about 75 after selling all of their stuff. So I didn't want to fake their money. So I was on a budget also. So I sort of petered out near the end. I ended up not saving them a lot of money, but we also did miss the entire of the little computer room, but it very much is just a computer, a guitar in the corner, and a bookshelf. Because that was about the time where I remembered, oh, I have other places to do and I'm on a budget. And I wanted a little bit of a garden, nothing crazy. Again, I don't think they ever really went much outside. They did have the woodworking bench, but they don't need it anymore. Needed it to get to level 10, but that's not part of who she is. Decided to go with some hedging, just to sort of keep it more separate. I like having like an actual like closed in back area for The Sims. I just prefer it. I will always end up putting a big tree in the backyard. I don't have a backyard. I don't have a big tree to be in my backyard, but that sounded weird, but I want one. I also loved this, wanted to put it somewhere, ended up, it's just at the side of the house now. There's greenery there. I think it makes sense. I did end up putting some bushes at the front. I just felt it needed something. It needed a bit of dimension. Fill it out a little. And then with back here, I think I just end up putting some table and chair, somewhere to sit. I think I put, yeah, here you can see again, it cut out, but it cut out just at the very end, so it was nothing crazy. Put a table and chairs there, got a little hose over here, and I believe just a planter box, and maybe, yes, I also put in a telescope as well, just as a Thank God we got that smaller telescope. The fact that for ages it was that big observatory for so long, crazy. I I personally think that that just stems from them not being sure if Sims 4 was going to be like still kind of wacky, like Sims 1 and Sims 2, or if it tried to be a bit more like in like the real world. But this is the house. This is the final product. I think I did okay. I think they'll be fine here. So this is the living room, kitchen. You can see then this is the office space. We've got a guitar in the corner, just the computer, and the bookshelf. Bathroom's a bathroom, and that's what the bedroom looks like. You can't really tell with the wallpaper, but it's white with like a blue hints on it. It was much better than the purple choice. The living room, everything's very blue. This is a very blue household. That wasn't necessarily the intention. I end up putting a chair here because I feel like this just needs a bit of something. And again, it's a blue chair. It's a very blue household. It wasn't necessarily my initial intention, but that is how it went, and it is what it is. But yeah, so this is the house. I've got nothing much more else to say about it, but thank you so much for watching. And I will hopefully see you in the next one where we will actually be playing Get to Work. Thank you so much. Bye.